Hi y'all. Just got back from Miami. I went to the Sports Illustrated swim casting call. This was the third one, I believe, 2019. And I'm just creating this video to kind of review it, tell you guys what the experience was like on July 12th, I believe. That's a Friday. So the actual casting was on Friday morning, July 12th. So I got there the night before. Unfortunately, my flight, because I was coming from New York and there was a ton of rain, so I got there really late. The flight was delayed. I arrived to my hotel at like 2 a.m. They said that the casting started at 8, and they said that the lineup could start at 5 a.m. I actually heard later that some girls went at like 3:30 a.m. That's awesome. Good for you. You're committed. It was hosted at the W Miami in South Beach. So I got there, and there was just a huge line already. Got there at like a little before 7. And it was pouring rain, so I went and I spent like $30 on like I don't know why it was so expensive, but I spent like $30 on an umbrella and a poncho, a rain poncho, and I got a coffee, and then I got in line. So already at like 6:45 a.m., there was 3 of the walls that made up the W Miami were already filled with girls. So they said the casting would start at 8. It actually started around 8:30ish, I believe. The line moved about every 20 minutes or so. We would move up a couple feet. We didn't actually get interviewed until about 1:45 p.m., I would say. So you're in line for hours and hours, just so you know. The other thing, they didn't really tell us what to wear. So I wore a bikini, and then I put just like a little black dress over it. There were just so many different types of outfits. It's really like whatever you're feeling, whatever you feel most comfortable, most sexy in. Really just wear what you're comfortable in. I would wear a bikini under it, but for the first round, they're choosing 61 girls out of all the people that come to the casting. So anyone can come to these castings if you don't know. Like, you don't have to be an established model, whatever. First thing they do is they have you fill out a couple things, just like your name, your address, where you're from, a couple small things. At this point, it was raining again. It kind of was on and off. After you fill out this information, they take a picture of you. It's like a Polaroid. They print it, and then they put it on this packet that they give you, and then they give you a number. So I was number 421, if I remember correctly, and keep in mind I had gotten there at 7 a.m. They ended up just bringing us inside to another room, and then they brought us eventually to another hallway inside the hotel. There's lots of waiting time, lots of downtime. I got to know some girls around me. There were a lot of really wonderful girls from all around the U.S. Around 1:45, they brought us into the actual interviewing room. Now, I don't know how it's been in past years. I don't know if they're going to change it for next year, but this time it was just like it was kind of like a huge conference area. They brought us in groups of 50. In front of us, there were all these different tables. One of those classic lunch tables, 2 people on this side, and then 2 models would go up, and they would do their individual interviews next to each other. So there were probably, I don't know how many tables, like 6 to 12 tables, probably around maybe 15 people being interviewed. This is just a rough guess. I'm just trying to give you an idea. And then you had 2 minutes to talk to these people. So they timed it on their phone. So a lot of the very established SI Swim models were interviewing us, but there were also a couple people that I believe were just affiliated with the magazine. MJ was there. They asked you just to talk about yourself and like a little bit about your background and like why you're there. Yeah, that was it. And then I guess at the end of the night, of course I didn't get it, but at the end of the night they said, okay, we'll email you guys by tonight, and whoever gets an email, you're probably part of the 61 that were chosen. So I'm guessing 61 women that were chosen got an email, and then the next day they had the next round of casting. It's a 3-day casting thing. They told you be available from the 12th to the 14th. The 12th was the first day. I didn't make it past that round, so I don't really know what happened after that, but this is what happened on the first day. If you do want to have the whole weekend available, depending on what the dates are that they give you, because if you get picked, then you go to the next round of casting. That was the whole process. Almost 7 hours waiting in line, and then you get 2 minutes to talk to them. It was a really cool experience. It's so cool seeing all these women come from different places, being so passionate about having this opportunity. I did go alone, so I got to explore a lot. I have a couple tips for people who want to go, things to keep in mind. Bring an umbrella. I don't know what the weather's going to be like, but bring an umbrella, because I ended up having to buy an umbrella and a rain poncho, and it was really expensive for some reason. The other thing is, I would say bring hairspray. Luckily, there was a really sweet girl in front of me that let me borrow her hairspray, and normally I don't need hairspray. Like, I never use it, but it's so freaking humid there. You need hairspray. Actually, I could use a little right now. But so bring hairspray, even like a little one, or bring a comb. Bring whatever you need. You know, everyone kind of has their own beauty routine, so bring what you think you'll need, because keep in mind, you're standing there for 7 hours. Go early. I probably would have shaved a couple, 1 to 3 hours off of my waiting time if I had gone even earlier. So it really depends what you want. Bring coffee if you think you'll need coffee. Also, just bring stuff to do, because you're going to be sitting there. I saw some girls that had books with them, essays with them. Bring school stuff, download some podcasts, bring headphones, homework, work stuff, whatever you can do. I got a lot of work emails done while I was sitting in line, which was great. Also, bring a snack, even if it's just like a protein bar or something small. Bring a comp card if you have one. So if you're working with an agency, bring a comp card that have your pictures, measurements. I brought mine, and then she asked to keep it at the interview, which was nice. They're going to take a picture of you there anyway, but I just thought maybe it'll help, so bring one if you have one. Make a weekend out of it. Traveling is great, but it's so much about the people you're with, so I would definitely make a weekend out of it. Go with your boyfriend, go with a squad of friends, you know, make a weekend out of it, not just because you're in Miami. You're in a cool city that's like a party city, there's stuff to do, but also, you know, it's very unlikely that you're going to get the casting just statistically. So having people to keep you distracted and having things to do after the casting is great. Making a weekend out of it, you get way more bang for your buck. Bring chairs. Some girls brought beach chairs, and I think that's the smartest thing they could have done. Go early in the morning if you don't want to wait in line, but book the tickets early. The second SI Swim next year gives you those dates that they're doing the open casting. Book the hotel and book the flights. I would have an idea of what you want to tell them, because like I said, you're going to get 2 minutes to talk to them. 2 minutes to, you know, wow their socks off. Is that the phrase? Blow their socks off. I wouldn't practice it too much because you don't want to sound like a robot, but have an idea of what you want to say. What are your values? Who are you? What makes you stand out? My next advice is more mindset based. Don't be nervous. Just don't. Just statistically, there are so many women going. There's so many factors involved in getting chosen in SI Swim that there's no point in being nervous. You are an amazing person. You go there, you do your best, you say what you have to say, you know what you want to say. As long as you're present, that's enough. And have a good time. Go into things expecting nothing, and that way if it turns out badly, you'll be fine. And if it turns out well, you'll be delighted. My final thing here is remember how unique you are. You're this amazing combination of your experiences, your personality traits, everything about you together makes you you, and you're great. And you're gonna go into this audition just being that. That's all you can do. So go there, be yourself, make a weekend out of it. I hope this helped. I wanted to make this video basically to give you guys an idea of what SI Swim is like. I'm sure they change it up a little bit every year depending on how efficiently it went the previous year. But this is what happened in 2019, and it was a really wonderful experience. Thank you to SI Swim for the opportunity. I think it's wonderful what you guys are doing. So that's what to expect. Good luck. If you guys have any questions, you can DM me on Instagram. I'll put it in the bio, I guess. But yeah, feel free to ask me questions.